Okay, hello. So I am making a little bit of a makeup tutorial video. Um, this is after watching the webinar by Janelle Geeson. It's called Ageless Beauty. And she kind of gives tips and tricks on how to help with age. Um, but I am a little young, so mine's a little bit more um, like a college budget style makeup tutorial, but I'm just gonna go through and show you how to do a great makeup look. Um, so we'll start. I'm just gonna pull my hair back. Got a little scrunchie. It's good for the hair, doesn't pull, keeps it nice and healthy. And and I just like to pull some out just because then I don't feel bald. Um, okay. First thing I always do when I do my makeup is I put chapstick on. I don't know why, but it just helps me feel prettier during the whole process. So we're just gonna apply the lipstick or lip gloss. Help those lips get some moisture. And then I use it's Jergens Natural Glow. It's not like super dark, but it does help give a little color, especially in the winter. I know we could all use a little bit of color on our face, so I'm just gonna apply this really quick. Go some nice moisturizer. Um, it's really light and friendly. So, okay, the next thing that I'm gonna do, and I do want to warn you, I do have some pretty old tools that I'm using, but it's called a budget. So, here, this is e.l.f. 16 Hour Concealer that I use, and I just kind of have to cover up all those little, congestion or whatever it is that you want to call it that you've got going on. We all get it, and it's so fun. I love it. Okay, so a lot of people like to put it under their eyes. For me personally, because I have to do such full coverage for my acne, or congestion, I don't like to put it under my eyes because I feel like I already have to do a really full coverage look, and it tends to make it look a little bit more caked on than I like if I do that. That's totally up to you. It's just something that I found while doing my own makeup. Um, I get a more natural look if I leave my eyes underneath, kind of more natural because I don't have bags under my eyes. Now, if you do have bags under your eyes, then totally, feel free to cover that up. It's the name of the game, am I right? Okay, so, and I don't blend it in all the way, but just enough that it'll kind of put a layer over them. So, and then the next thing I have um, two foundations. I just forgot the word. Two foundations that I use. One is really light and then one's a little bit darker. So depending on, what time of the year it is, whether my fake tan has worn off or not, I use one or the other or I'll mix them. So I'm just going to mix a little bit of both of them and I just put it on my hand. So a little bit of that one and then we'll do a little bit of the darker one so that I don't look like a ghost. I am naturally more pale, but I do like to be a little bit darker. Thank goodness for bronzer. Okay, so now that I've got it on there, I use my Beauty Blender. I love it. I use it for just about the whole process. I only have two things that I use, a Beauty Blender and then I have another brush. And then I just kind of dot this over, like all over my face. Because again, I need a more full coverage look because I do have the acne going on. And we gotta cover that up and trick people into thinking that I have flawless skin. And then I just take this, and I do get this a little bit wet before, and then you're just gonna start dabbing. So then, I'll cover up underneath the eyes there. So if you don't have that bad of bags, then you can kind of just stick to this. And just start dabbing away. Kind of blending it in under the eyes, and make sure you go all the way, down the neck a little bit. So, whoa, that was a funny sound. So that, it looks all blended. You don't want a harsh line anywhere. That's tacky. Go up above the nose. Okay, and then I do have leftover, and because again, my acne, I go over those spots. So like my cheek, I'm just gonna pat over it again because the double coverage is what's gonna give it. What's going to give it the nice clean look that you're going for. So now that we've got this, now we've got our nice canvas that we can actually create on. Hallelujah. And it just covers it all right up, which is a little scary, but also really fun for me. So that I can just wear my makeup. Okay, so now that we've got our makeup like this, and again, I've used it all off my hands, so like literally my hand's really clean. So I wash my hands at the end, but for now, product's pretty much gone on here, so I don't have to worry about that. So then I take, this is the same as the foundation brand, the Fit Me. It's Maybelline. Again, we're on a budget, girl. And I'm almost out of it, but I take the Beauty Blender because it is a little wet, and I'm just going to take a little bit, and I use this to set kind of under my eyes, all of those spots that tend to get really oily for my skin, so like my T-zone. I do get oily, so I just kind of go around it with this, and I'm going to set my whole face with another powder. But I don't know, sometimes I don't have a good reason, but I just find that doing this helps my makeup last longer. That's an issue that I've run into a lot. I feel like with the acne and everything, like my skin looks amazing for like an hour. Okay, and then I did get the clearance stickers on it because I got this on clearance at Target, but it is just a setting powder that I'm going to use, a translucent one, to set my makeup. But as I was saying, I feel like an issue is like my makeup looks great for like an hour, and then the rest of the day it's like melting off my face, and that's so embarrassing. So I've just found, using the Beauty Blender to go over my T-zone, but then, so I kind of put the powder in here, brushed off, and then I learned this from Maddie, is always brush up on the skin. Could totally be using that wrong, because she was talking about eyeshadow when she did it, but Maddie Farnell did tell me to go up, so now I just brush up for my whole face, because it makes me feel prettier, so. Okay, and this just, just a setting powder, so again, make sure that T-zone is getting set in really nicely, and you can already see, all of the blemishes. I mean, obviously there's a little bit, but I guess it makes us human, right? And then, and I know I'm backwards. I don't do my eyes first. I don't know why. I've always been like this. I know you're supposed to do them first, but since it's my makeup tutorial, this is how I'm going to do it. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do, so with my eyebrows, they kind of just need a little bit of shaping, but what I do is, this is an old mascara brush. I washed it all off, cleaned it up. There's no mascara left on it, but this is soap on here. So what I do, so I just got a little cup of water. I get it wet, so run it under the sink. And then I use just like a plain bar of soap, and I just wipe a little bit on there. You don't need a lot, but you can see that's kind of how much I use. And I just use this to brush up my brows so that they're staying kind of up. And I still go in and fill them in a bit. If I had my eyebrows dyed like I like to usually have them tinted, you wouldn't need to do as much filling in, but we are in quarantine, so. Okay, so I don't even know if you can tell, but like, see how it just helps make them stick up a bit more straight? So I'm gonna go over this one just a little bit more, and you kind of just have to play with it, Everyone likes their eyebrows different, but this is how I like to get mine. And then I let that dry. So while that's drying, we can go on and get some blush, some bronzer. I have this. I also got it on sale from e.l.f. Sorry about the dogs. Okay, and then I use that same brush that I used to set my powder in. And there's two blushes. They're really similar. So I just take it, try to hit that cheekbone right there. Sometimes I make this face because I think it helps make it like me see the apples better, but it's like that way I can kind of see what I'm doing. I love blush. I think that everyone looks better with it on. So, okay, so now we've got the blush on, and now we're going to put on the bronzer, which is this one. So I just go like that, and kind of go in that contour motion. I do have like a really harsh cheekbone. Like, I know I have that look, but I still like to enhance it a little bit more. And then up here, kind of shape that so it's not so wide. It's looking more detailed, but everyone contours different to their face. But I also like it because I think it just like gives you color, and then I always go a little bit on the nose too. Sometimes more than I should. I love bronzer. Some people might say I use too much. Some people might say I'm doing just enough. Really depends on who you're talking to. And okay. Then, and there is highlighter on here, and I use the same brush I do my eyeshadow with. Again, I don't have a lot of products. I've had this. It's an e.l.f. brush. And I do just a little bit of highlighter. I don't like too much because I do have oily skin. So if I do too much, I feel like I get just like paranoid about it. Even if it's not, I just get like weird about it. So that's all I do for it. Just maybe just a little bit more on the nose because I think it makes it look cute. Okay, and then let's do eyeshadow. So I got this palette. I've loved it. It's the Blush Nudes. I'm all about kind of the neutral colors. So, and there's one that you can see I like a lot. It's just kind of a light shimmery, not even like pink, more like nude. And I just go all over that eyelid because it is so neutral that you're not, it's not going to look like you're wearing a bright color. And then, so if I were in a rush, I'd probably just do that. It's literally just a little shimmer. But I'm also going to add this one into my crease. So I just kind of get a little bit on there. And then, I go on my crease. And we're just going to kind of make it a little bit darker, And then we're going to brush out a little bit. Spread it. And like, again, that's subtle, but you can tell the difference from the eye and the eye. It just gives a little bit of a crease. I like a really neutral look. I don't like to look like I have a huge eye on unless I'm maybe going to some fancy event, and then we're going to switch to this eye. So for me, this has worked to stick to this neutral eye. And then, like Janelle talked about in hers, is seeing, if they don't really have a crease, then, making it more. So I feel like I kind of have a crease. I don't know. I like to make mine look like this, but although I don't know if I fall in the category for first, I like to go in that first category, so that's kind of my final look for my eyes. I'll let you get a closer look. Okay, and then let's do mascara, and I love this brand, Voluminous Paradise. I've been using it for a while. It comes in a pink tube. And I just put a little bit on. I don't do my bottom eyelashes because I've just found on me it looks creepy. Some girls totally rock it. My mom and my sister both have to have it on. But for me, it makes me look like a spider kind of, so it's just not really working with me. But yeah, we're just gonna kind of, put some mascara on. Kind of hold it there. I used to have an eyelash curler, but right on topic with the budget, it's kind of hard to explain to your husband when you have to buy like $100 worth of makeup in one trip to Target. So, we get stuff slowly every time I go. I'll just get like, oh, I have to grab this, I have to grab this. So it's on the list, but I don't have it yet because my album broke. Okay. And I don't do a ton. Okay, and then I feel like that's a little clumpy right there, so I'll kind of try to get it. But I love it when my eyelashes are long, but and then I got some there, so I'm just gonna let it dry, and then I'll wipe it off with a Q-tip in a minute. Though day to day, I'm typically running late, typically a bit more lazy about it, and so a lot of times, sometimes that's literally what my eyes look like, just to give it some darkness. I like to get them long. But if I'm late and I don't have the time, any type of brushing it up will do. Okay, this one's going slowly. And then next we're going to do my eyebrows while the mascara I'm getting all over my eyelid is drying so that I can wipe it up. Okay, so there's I don't go super hard on them, but there I am with my lashes. They're a little clumpy, but we'll let them dry and then separate it. Okay, and then I love e.l.f. It's so cheap and it works. One day I'll be using all the fancy brands, but for now, I'll Fit Is. So, and I just like to kind of, make my shape a little bit clearer and then go through, and you have to think, like, whatever way the hair is going to go is how I like to make my brush work. So for this, then I don't know why it helps me to make this face. I know it's kind of weird. But up and then out on the side like that. And like, again, I'm just kind of filling in my shape. I don't take, I don't know. I like makeup, but I'm simple with it. Just because most of the time I don't have a lot of time. Okay, and that was wrong. Sorry. There we go. See, I'm just filling in that line so it looks like, on Instagram they have like the sharpest lines. I love it. It's so satisfying. I've always wanted those types of eyebrows, but and I don't know about you guys, like I like to be really close up when I do my makeup. I like the closer up, and then I always brush it up because sometimes it just makes it look more natural. So that way they're just kind of filled in. Voila. I don't know why I feel like these look weird now, but I think it's just because I'm making a video. So I'm like reading into everything way too much. Okay, so, and then let's take a Q-tip out of my makeup bag. I always keep a couple in here. And I'll wipe up the... And so if you let it dry, a lot of people don't know this, but then it'll just flake right off, which is nice. Because I already did my eyeshadow because I do everything backwards. Okay, and then it's all clean. And then I don't usually do a lip, but I'm going to do it today because she did it in the video. And I don't have a lip liner, although I wish I did. The only one I have is like hot pink, but we're going to do it. It's going to be great. It's in really bad shape actually. Okay, here it is. So in a perfect world, I'm going to like show you with a lip liner, which I do like to use. I don't have one where we're at right now. It's back at our apartment. I always go just a little bit outside, like she talked about in the video. Like, you don't want to do this like fake lip. Like, if you're gonna go all the way down there, someone's gonna know your lip doesn't go there. But just going a little bit further out, to make it a little bit fuller. And then we're gonna go through with the lipstick. And again, this is where it does come in handy if you know you're doing a lip. Put on your moisturizer at the beginning. So now, like, it's soft and clean, but it's not like gunky on there. Anyways. Okay, and then rub it together. And typically, I go for a bit more of a neutral color, but it's all I have, so for the sake of the tutorial, we're gonna do pink, but it actually looks really pretty. And then, that's the end for me. And then I always have a thing right here to kind of wipe up, any extra. Anyways, and then I would do my hair. If I wasn't in quarantine, I'd curl it really pretty, but we're trying to do no heat. So, in a perfect world, this video would have like the music at the beginning and the end, but I don't have that. So, thank you for coming and for watching my TED Talk. Bye!